Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon Jabber HD, and today we have week 3 of MLP where we are fortunate enough to be 2-0 so far, and our opponent this week is Zach the Artist and the Cleveland Brownzors, who are currently 0-2, so we definitely do not want to be the first ones to lose to them, and obviously we just want to put ourselves in the best position for a potential playoff run and even a hopeful championship run. So the team that we are facing today has Mega Gallade, Togekiss, Magnezone, Donphan, Tentacruel, Z Dragonite, Miltank, Z Sneasel, Excelgor, Simisear, and Cradily. While our team has been unchanged and is Dankforce Landorus, Z Manaphy, Entei, Cobalion, Uxie, Z Venomoth, Sharpedo, Stunfisk, Rampa, Mega DNC, and Tangela. And while looking at this team, as much as I want to bring Venomoth every week, I decided that that wasn't the best thing to do. But we did bring back the hero from last week in Entei, who I think actually has yet another great matchup, because the only real fire resists are Simisear and Thick Fat Miltank, which can't do a whole lot back, especially when considering that it's going to most likely get burned. And so it's actually basically the same set as last week. Sacred Fire, Bulldoze, Extreme Speed, but this time it has Stone Edge because I need to hit the threat that is Dragonite. And although Sacred Fire is nice to burn it with, Stone Edge is the way that I'd have to kill it, and that's much more important, which the speed outspeeds Dragonite and also Togekiss. So, and Stone Edge hits both, so that was much better than Iron Head for sure, and I expect this to alleviate the pressure of the special attackers as well as just be a solid offensive threat that doesn't have too much to switch in once I wear down that Miltank or Tentacruel. Next up, we have Uxie, which is Foul Play, Toxic U-Turn, Saltrock with Colbur Berry, and it's just max defense because Glade's a problem. And my fastest Mon speed ties with it. And Sharpedo can get taken advantage of when it protects. So I figured that this was my most reliable switch in. Foul Play will allow me to take it on whether it boosts or not, or even if it's a bulky set with maybe special defense or even just defense investment, in case I'm running Psyshock since he also has a Tentacruel. But Foul Play I figured would hit it the best, as well as making sure that Dragonite can't boost up on me. And then also this is just it just kind of takes hits from every physical attacker, barring Sneasel. Like Coldberry can help with that if I don't end up using it on Mega Gallade, and also Sneasel. But it's also, since it's a Z user, if he's not banded, it actually doesn't do that much damage. Like, it's kind of funny how little damage it does. So I'm not really concerned. Like, this actually is my switch into Sneasel, as funny as that is. But I mean, Mega Gallade is the biggest threat. Dragonite definitely another threat. So this is just basically gonna take all the physical hits, set up rocks, and get out of there. Which next we have Manaphy here with Scald, Ice Beam, Psychic that covers the whole team, and then U-Turn because we are Choice Scarf, which I really hate bringing Choice Scarf on this. I want to bring Tail Glow, of course, all the time, or I want to bring like a Z Rain Dance set, but I didn't see it doing enough to warrant it. Like, I think that, well, I can hit everything. I can't, like, that I can't if I'm trying to boost speed and Tail Glow up with Z Rain Dance, so I didn't want to miss out on one of the mons like Tentacruel, or I didn't want to miss out on being able to hit Dragonite and Cradilly. So I think that although this is going to be very weak, I made it modest just so we can hit as hard as possible, and then made it outspeed and potentially Scarf Togekiss and +1 Dragonite. And so it pains me to bring Choice Scarf, but I think that this actually will help me a lot because I can really revenge kill everything since I can hit everything. And actually, just remember, actually 286 since like I would have been 285. However, that actually speed ties with Exceldor, so 286 actually makes sure that I'm faster than Exceldor. So I mean, it was just one extra point, but definitely didn't want to forget that and then just die to a potential Energy Ball or Bug Buzz. And then next we have someone who hasn't come to any of the matches yet, which is Stunfisk, and I'm happy that I actually brought this because I drafted a few mons that I've seen do well, but I've never used them, and Stunfisk is one of those where I've definitely seen that it can be a threat, but I've never personally used it, and as much as I wanted to put rocks on this, the spinners and Dawn Fan and Tentacruel kind of deterred me from putting rocks on it, and I figured at least Uxie could take that slot over Psyshock, which he just won't know that I can't really do much to the Tentacruel. But I think that having a rocker that beats most of the potential defog and rapid spin options is just always the best option. So that freed up an extra spot because I probably would have been Discharge, Earth Power, Toxic, Simple, just Dual Stab because Dual Stab is great, especially in this matchup, and then Stealth Rock, but that actually let me put Foul Play on it, which I didn't know I got until looking for this matchup. But Foul Play really, I think, just like with Uxie, makes sure that this isn't set afar, because Mega Gallade and Dragonite definitely are a huge set of threats that I'm not really that prepared to beat, since Manaphy does help a lot, since Ice Beam should handle the Dragonite, because I'm not switching out on Dragonite if I'm fearing it setting up. So that's, I think, either way, as long as Gallade's not too bulky and behind a sub, I will be content with being able to just foul play anything that tries to set up on Stunfisk, but it just completely hardballs the Magnezone minus HP Ice, if it even feels like it needs that. But Togekiss, at least I won't get flinched by everything, hopefully, since I resist the Air Slash. So I think the Stunfisk is actually huge to make sure that it just really actually helps so much with all the special attackers. So I was really happy that I could bring it. Next, Bank Force Landorus, Earth Power Sludge Wave, Hidden Power Ice, because Earth Power Sludge Wave hits pretty much everything, barring Dragonite really hard, and so HP Ice just makes sure that I'm gonna kill it. Like it does too much damage, so I don't have to worry about, oh, I need to get in range of Sludge Wave. And so I think those three just kind of covered the whole team anyway. And so last move, probably not going to click whatever last move I put on, but I put Defog just in case. I a lot of times I've not really been bringing any hazard removal whatsoever. And I think that just having the Defog there, since this forces a lot of switches, could really be useful in a pinch. So definitely gonna make sure I'm prepared to keep hazards off my side, because I know that his team has a lot of options for spinning and defogging. And then last is Mega Diancie. Oh yeah, the speed on Landorus. Speed ties Simisear. I don't know if Simisear's coming, but just in case. The other thing I would speed creep is the base 100 Tentacruel, so it's not really a big deal to put the extra point into speed tie with Simisear, but I will be really sad if Simi's here just OHKOs my Landorus. And then, like I said, last is Mega DNC with Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Earth Power, and Explosion to Speed Tie, Mega Gallade, and Diamond Storm Overpower Gem because Togekiss is just more especially bulky, so I figured that at least, you know, I can figure out whether it's physical bulk or special bulk and deal with it appropriately, since although like I am bringing pretty much all special attackers, so if it's not that especially bulky, I'm not worried. But if it's if it's the special bulk, then now I have the physical move to hit it and a defense boost circle, and then Explosion because, well, I didn't really need another move. This is kind of just, I thought Explosion would be cool. I could explode on, you know, since everything on a team other than the Sneasel and Brownzors are slower than this, so Fancy strong, Explosion strong. Didn't really need a boosting move in Rock Polish or Calm Mind, so I think that for the most part my team just has coverage for everything, and I have a couple filler moves in there, but either way I think that as long as I don't get swept by Gallade or Dragonite, I'll be content. Because then at least it's something more creative that beats me. So I will be right back with Team Preview. And we are back now with the battle at Team Preview, and looking at this Team Preview, the most relieving thing I see is no Mega Gallade. It's a huge threat. I don't know. I guess Uxie is probably what prevented it from being brought, but regardless, it's a problem that I didn't want to deal with, and I'm glad to see that it's not there. The Miltank is there, that makes sense for the Entei, and then Donphan is the clear spinner. So I see a free lead for Uxie. While it is important, I think it has a good matchup with obviously the offensive mons, the physically offensive mons that it's designed to take on, and then if it doesn't have a good matchup, it can either U-turn or I can just switch directly into my Stunfisk on the Magnezone being the only really threatening special attacker here. So I lead off with the Uxie, and then Zach leads off with the Donphan. I'm gonna Toxic first because it's, as a spinner, I need it to get weakened so it doesn't spin. I don't have a spin blocker, so I Toxic first, then I'm gonna go for the Stealth Rock as he goes straight into the Magnezone, which I have a switch in. I don't care what it does. Stunfisk eats anything. The only thing I'd be worried about is maybe like a Magnet Rise, but it goes for Volt Switch, does nothing, so thankfully I don't have to deal with that. I just throw off the Earth Power because I don't know what he really wants to go into. So I see the Cradilly, I switch straight into Landorus on the Recover. So I just want to threaten it. I go for Sludge Wave. I think honestly, if I remember correctly, I think I just misclicked. I mean, Earth Power was pretty safe. I'm not really worried about Dragonite coming in on me, so I mean, all it did really was it just let me see the damage, which this is extremely especially defensive. So I go for the Earth Power. You know, it does 10% more, but it's still not much, and it's just going to keep recovering off. So since I have a very specially based team, I go into Entei as he actually reveals the Amnesia. So I'm just going to go for the Sacred Fire. Since that's free, I don't care if Miltank comes in. Clearly it's thick, fat, and defensive. I get the burn immediately, so I don't really think it can do a whole lot, but since I can't do much to it, I'm just going to go back into Landorus. I'm not worried about what it does, but it does miss the Toxic, which is unfortunate, but for the sake of my Landorus, it's just supposed to come in, do damage. And then he wants to avoid the possible 2-hit KO since rocks are up from the Earth Power, so then I just go into HP Ice this thing because it's a threat that I don't want to deal with, and I get it off easily, and then that's the free switch into Sneasel. I assume the knockoff is coming, and Uxie really is my only switch in though, so it only does 30. So clearly it's not banded, and most likely Z. So I can get a free U-turn out into my Landorus to check what this Magnezone wants to do, and I double out into Entei in case it's Scarf, because I haven't really seen anything other than just Volt Switch. So I see that it isn't Scarfed because I switched out first, and then I go into the Uxie here as Rock Polish is actually revealed. So there's actually an offensive Donphan, which, I mean, this is what I want in here. Obviously, that helps me out quite a bit. So, although I was not a big fan of the Entei getting switched in on the Donphan, it's revealed that he sets up, and that's perfect for me. I don't care if this thing dies. Uxie's done what it needs to do in Toxicking, a setup Mon, and Dragonite's gone, so Uxie's job is done, so I can just go for Foul Play as he knocks off, and that does a good amount of damage, but obviously it's fat. And then we see that it's got the Lychee Berry, so it could have been a potential natural gift, could have been just, hey, I want the attack raise when I get in range, and thankfully the Toxic takes it down as my main ground switch in is gone. And so then now I go into Manaphy, since it's Scarfed, goes into Miltank. I can just U-turn out, go right into my Landorus, since I know this is physically defensive. Miltank misses another Toxic. I feel so bad. Like, I know that it wouldn't have been like a whole lot of damage racked up at this point, but it's the damage helps. Like, Landorus is a threat, and that's just unfair that it keeps dodging. So I'm just gonna switch into Dancy. I don't really have a switch in that I want to do, and Dancy doesn't really do anything at this point anyway. So Z is revealed to be Core Secret Crash, so I mean, it hits the target it wanted to. And so at this point, I'm just free to Sacred Fire, since my Salt Vest isn't really a big deal other than for Magnezone, which I have Stunfisk anyway to switch in 100%, and he switches straight into Magnezone, and that just ends the game. I mean, I E-Speed, now it's confirmed that this is Z, so it doesn't have Use the Light, so it's not going to take this, and then this can't really damage me much, and Sacred Fire does 47 plus burn, so it's over, as our power doesn't even do damage anyway. So Entei cleans up the game once again, and this match just went, I mean, completely the way I wanted it to from the beginning, where I didn't have to deal with the Dragonite threat, and Sneasel being the only thing that I really couldn't switch into amazingly, because I just didn't want to get rid of my Scarf on Manaphy, but if I really had to, Manaphy beats it. So I was never too concerned, and then even with the Toxic misses from Miltank, I think that this game I think I just brought my team that could completely take on his, barring I guess the Cradilly really was pretty good for most of what I brought, but Entei, with the combination of special attackers I had, put on too much pressure. And with that, we are now 3-0 with, I think it's plus 11 differential now, so we are looking great. Hopefully on our way to a solid playoff run and potential championship run. And for week 3 of the MLP, I am signing off. Bye bye!